Scrap Mechanic is a cool game, and an old game. It first came out in 2016, and the developers have been working on it ever since. So it must be an incredible game, right? Like, otherwise they would have been bankrupt long ago, and it never would have gotten this far, right? Well, sort of. Let me explain. Axolot Games is known for their quality updates, each one adding a lot of quality to the game. Every time they make an update, most people are very happy with the changes. Yet one thing has been making it harder and harder for them to do that over time. And that is just it. Time. Despite the game having quality updates, they've been so few and far between, especially in the last few years, that many of the game's players have given up on the game altogether. Some of them claim they'll come back after a major update, like the up-and-coming Chapter 2 update. But Axolot Games has been taking their time on this, to the point that they're losing even those who plan to return. Most of them are finding their way over to Trailmakers, a game with similar building scale and mechanic systems that can do most of the same things, but in a different way. Trailmakers' team at Flashbulb have reliably and constantly been putting out updates, and the game is always improving. They do a great job at fostering community too. Community is definitely an area that Axolot Games struggles a bit more, having little to no communication to even the largest YouTubers that play the game. On the other hand, Flashbulb Games has a very active community management team, and on that note, they recently gave me a Steam key for Trailmakers that I have permission to give away to you guys. So if you want a Steam copy to have or to give to a friend, just complete this week's treasure hunt in the description to win it. I'll announce in the description if someone has won it yet. Probably what's put the worst taste in the mouth of those who play Scrap Mechanic is the postponing of Chapter 2. The original release date they announced for Chapter 2 was December 2023. It's now been over 3 years, and 2 years past the date they originally postponed it to, and during that whole time there's been very little news for the release, or changes, or updates. We have, however, had some updates, including the long-awaited physics update that made large piles of objects now not heavily lag the game. This came with a little accuracy loss in the physics calculations, but we still have the option to choose the old system whenever we want, so overall, it's a major improvement for the game. Along with that, we also got a few new parts. This was the most notable update that came that whole time. As far as information goes, we got a few X posts, but not much else. Personally, I've lost trust in any timelines they've published, and I think most of the community has. However, I still have faith that when they do release Chapter 2, it'll be a quality update waiting for us. It's just a matter of time. How is it then that with the game being so old and having so few updates, that the community is stuck around? And that's where the Scrap Mechanic's largest strength comes in. Mods. From early on, Scrap Mechanic has a good mod support. Just over 2 years after Survival came out, they also added the capability for custom game modes. This allowed the existing modding community to flourish and make huge projects. There are multiple whole campaign mods developed by the community that are available to download for free and use. Some of them are even more complete than the main game so far. And though the main game in its current state is missing an endpoint, it by no means is lacking in good content, and it'll keep you for hours. So the fact that these mods, like Raft Mechanic and Crashlander, somehow managed to surpass this content is quite insane. This has nearly tripled the quantity of playable game material for this game. And yet the modders can still continue to make more and more of this type of content as time goes on. And this has given Axolot Games a humongous boost for keeping the game alive. So what does this mean for the future of Scrap Mechanic? If the devs keep this pace of putting out content slowly, the community likely is to slowly die off, as we've seen the beginning of it already. This will continue until the next major update when Chapter 2 finally does drop, if it does before the community dies. But with the mod support and strong modding community, Axolot Games has a huge amount of grace to make Chapter 2 just right before they launch it. I suspect the majority of the community will exist still when Chapter 2 does come out. When the Chapter 2 update does come out, it'll be the breaking point for the game. If all goes well, and it turns out to be as good as they've promised it will, which I suspect will happen due to their track record so far, this very well might save the game. All they would need to do afterwards is get a community manager and start updating the game a little more frequently for this game to take off. However, if the Chapter 2 update is not what it's been worked up to be, or if they continue this pattern of not updating often, Chapter 2 might be the very last surge of life on this dying game. My hopes are that this game will survive and live on to become competitive with Trailmakers again. But for the moment, we can only wait, watch, and mod. Anyway, this has been Cheddar Fox, and I'm signing off. God bless.